Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are doing a Q&A. I really don't know what we're doing, but we're doing that. Not much football news going on today or this week. Off-season's underway. It's a little bit of a slow time. And Mom, you don't have this. And we are just, I don't even know what we're going to do. There's not really much going on. Hello, Fire Goddess. How you doing today? Going to just go over here and look over here to see what's in the news. We'll go to the NFL draft, mock draft. NFL. Hello, what's up, Miles? How you doing, buddy? Just good day. I'm doing all right. I'm tired. I've been working longer shifts lately, trying to pay for things. Any mock draft? Let's see what mock drafts they got. So obviously for Fernando Mendoza and Clint Kubiak, a match made in heaven. Unfortunately, there's a lot of noise going on in the background, so you guys are gonna just have to deal with it. But yeah, Fernando Mendoza going to the Raiders supposedly, with no other quarterback to lead the charge. The quarterback from Oregon, currently recovering from being friggin' sick. 'Tis why I haven't uploaded this week. I'm sorry, man. You got sick a couple of weeks ago too, right? Like maybe a month ago. I hope you get healthy, man. Being sick sucks, especially when you're trying to do this or you're trying to go to work. But a quarterback, what are you sick with? Oh, you just said still sick. You texted me. Yeah, I hope he feels better too. The quarterback is unlikely at this juncture for the Jets, who have a myriad of needs to address in this draft. And the next, when they are flush with picks, only the 49ers finished with fewer sacks than the Jets in 2025, and they had a bunch of injuries. So Reese could bring New York's defense significant pass rush upside and versatility. After playing mostly inside linebacker at Ohio State prior to last season, Reese kicked out to a primary edge role in 2025 and posted 6.5 sacks. Only Will McDonald IV had a higher sack total, 8 among Jets players last season. I can see that. Daddy K, what's going on? Went from chest cold to head cold. No stuffy nose, though, just really hurting sight. Ooh. That sucks, dude. Did you go to work? That sucks real bad. So, number 2, an edge rusher. There's just so many so many like things you could do with the Jets pick. In all honesty, you might want to just trade that pick back and see how many draft picks you can get. I don't know. Because it's just.
Hey, everyone, watch this. Everyone, watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get with Arvell Reese. There's too many holes for the Jets to fill in 1 year. I guess that's a good pickup if you're the Jets. Yep. Begrudgingly. Yeah. Going to work sick sucks. It makes you less productive. You don't want to be there. I've been there before. At number 3. Oh my gosh. So much like the Jets, the Cardinals feel unlikely to take a quarterback this high despite a significant need. I don't even know what they're going to do with Kyler Murray. Mike LaFleur is the new coach. So he might keep him for a year just to see what he's got with them. What do you guys think? You guys think they take a quarterback in this draft? Or you think they go offensive tackle with Francis Maigoa? Is that Malagoa? I don't even know how to say it. Definitely need offensive line help. Had a lot of injuries to the running game last season. So I can see them going offensive tackle. They do need, I think they're going to have to lean on the run this year. I don't think they have the quarterback to actually play competitively at that position. But we'll see. Paris Johnson Jr. is expected to improve at right tackle, or move to right tackle.
Stop!
The Titans could easily go wider.
There's so many things. What?
DJ Street. Come on, let's go around the room straight.
Cards won't take a QB. Either deal Kyler Murray or roll for a year, then let him go. After Mendoza, it's a fall. Yeah, there's not really a lot of quarterbacks in this draft, to be honest. There's just Mendoza, and then a steep fall off. There might be like a sleeper pick, but I just don't know whether or not there's anyone worth it this year. Next year, though, I hear it's going to be a pretty good draft class for quarterbacks. The Tennessee Titans at number 4 are expected to take David Bailey, the edge out of Texas Tech. They could go wide receiver here, as it's saying. I think you're a wide receiver. You need an offensive line. You need defensive help.
Right there.
Maybe they deal Kyler, then roll with Brissett. I would think, how old is Brissett? He's got to be in his 30s now, right? Jacoby Brissett. There's just so much noise today. 33 years old. Yeah, give him like a 1-year deal. Let him roll for a little bit, and then I don't think Kyler plays for the Cardinals next year. I get very distracted very easily, so I apologize. I have a hard time multitasking. So like when there's stuff going on around me, I can't really like think. The Titans could easily go wide receiver with this pick to further support quarterback Cam Newton, but Bailey addresses another roster hole that new head coach Robert Saleh would surely be thrilled to tackle. Bailey led the FBS in sacks, 14.5 during his lone season at Texas Tech. After 3 seasons at Stanford, a number of those sacks came from his lightning fast. That actually might be a very good pick for the Titans. But I'd have to really look. I didn't really watch a lot of college here, so I don't know. But having a lightning fast first step and maybe having 1 or 2 good moves could help a lot for Tennessee, especially if you're a defensive-minded coach like Saleh. Maybe you get a receiver in the second round, or maybe you trade up back into the first round. But who knows? I could see Titans going receiver because they need it. They desperately need to give help to Cam Ward. I don't know. I don't think there's anyone in free agency. Feel like the Titans need an offensive lineman or a weapon. I think so too. I just don't know where you get. They're in a weird spot. I feel like this draft is kind of meh. I really just don't think this is a very good draft, to be honest. I don't know any of the players. There's not really a lot. As for positions of wide receivers and things like that, Mike Evans, you don't want to go with another older receiver. Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, Debo Samuel's a free agent. De'Ami Brown, Tutu Atwell, Jawan Jennings. Jawan Jennings is an interesting one, perhaps. Maybe you get him if you're the Titans. But do you really want... I don't know. There's not really a big market this year either. Free agency kind of sucks. Running back position, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne is interesting, but I think he resigns with the Jags. Quarterbacks, don't need a quarterback. Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, not looking good. Offensive lineman, though, Braden Smith. There's nobody here. You're slim. There's a lot of slim pickings when it comes to the free agency and maybe the draft. Caleb Downs to the New York Giants, they're saying. I don't know. Completely. This is my first curveball, as many early mock drafts have linked the Giants to a wide receiver or offensive tackle in this spot. Do you really want... I think maybe an offensive tackle might be the best for the Giants because you need to protect Jackson Dart. Now, can you guys hear that? Okay, we're good. Can't hear that. Perhaps no current coach better understands the value of a top-flight safety play as Harbaugh. He coached Ed Reed and Kyle Hamilton in Baltimore. While the Giants have starters in Javon Holland and Tyler Nubin, Downs has the upside to change an entire defense as a force multiplier with his deep range and in-box skills. I don't know here. It's just interesting situation. Giants have holes in the line. They have holes on defense to fill. Do you go with someone to help Malik Neighbors? Because we know Malik Neighbors is probably not going to come back 100% next year. And then you have Downs, the safety. I need to do more homework on this. So, Cleveland Browns, offensive tackle, Utah. You could basically go anywhere with this team, except defense. Defensively, this is the best defense in the league, in my opinion, or one of them. They've given up 51 sacks last season, 7th most in the NFL. You have a slower quarterback with Shedeur Sanders. I think they're going to roll with Shedeur. Giants kind of need offensive line help, too. Honestly, I have no idea what the Giants do round one. Me neither. There's really not a lot of... There's nothing really here that excites me with this draft at all. Probably safety. I think I would like them to go O-line. Well, I would like them to have a bad draft because I'm an Eagles fan, but that's just me. Cleveland Browns also need offensive line help. Shedeur Sanders is not the greatest athlete, so you want to protect him. See what he has next year. But other than that, there's so many pieces. I mean, you can't go quarterback with the Browns either. There's no other quarterback except Mendoza that's going number one. The Commanders have made it. Cleveland needs a line and a better weapon for Chidor if they're going to roll with him. Judy is not going to... You know firsthand how bad Judy is. Marvin Mims is Jerry Judy if he had hands and a brain, as you said. As you like to say. They have Njoku. They really fell off. The Cleveland really fell off after 2020. I mean, they had a playoff win, and then all of a sudden everything just fell apart. And then you had, wasn't that the year, 2021 was the year where Odell and Baker Mayfield. Wasn't that 2021 was the year when he got injured, right? Partnership with Cleveland was defined by high expectations but disappointing on-field chemistry, ranking near the bottom of NFL duos in efficiency. Despite efforts to build rapport, injuries and missed opportunities led to tension. ultimately resulting in Beckham's release in 2021. And then he signed with the Rams. Was that the year is not returning to Cleveland? I think I am. Never mind. Because Baker went to... It's such a weird... Okay, so if we're looking at my timeline, and you're looking at the NFL timeline, I missed a lot of the 2010s. Like, honestly, dude, my brain was on autopilot through most of the 2010s. So, I really don't remember a lot of NFL stuff from that time. Especially from like 2016 to 2023 or 2022, something like that. So there was a big stretch of just not my brain just being all over the place. But yeah, okay, so that's different. And Njoku is not returning to Cleveland. Ah, crap. Yeah, I do too. I can't remember though. Isn't that when they had was that Parker? Is it Devontae Parker and then Odell and then Baker, Nick Chubb? They had all that. On paper they had a pretty good team. They just couldn't put it together. And Njoku, I can't believe Njoku is not going back to Cleveland. That sucks for them. They're not going to have any weapons. They don't even have a run game. Quinshon Judkins is injured. He's not going to be back for a while. Carnell Tate to the Washington Commanders. The Commanders have made it clear that they need to get younger on defense, so a pass rusher would be tempting here. But they can't overlook their need for another receiver opposite Terry McLaurin. Tate had a fantastic 25 season and is one of the most pro-ready prospects in the class. He's a terrific route runner who makes the difficult catches look routine with his awesome hands and body control. Tate averaged more than 17 yards per catch in 2025 and had at least one 40-plus yard catch in 6 games. That sort of field stretching, speed, and tracking ability could make him an ideal option for quarterback Jaden Daniels. Oh, definite. I agree. Their defense is so old, basically like the crypt keeper of defenses. There's no reason for them not to go defense. I know it's tempting to go receiver, but no. They need a defense. I would say Titans go receiver, which would be Carnell Tate maybe, and Washington goes edge. So that's what I'm thinking. They're actually saying New Orleans is going to take Jordan Tyson, wide receiver from Arizona State. But do they need another... They say he needs another playmaker alongside Chris Olave. Can you... Tyler Shuck went 4-1 in starts. That's pretty insane. Not too bad at all. That's not too bad at all, to be honest. Tyler Shuck, a 4-1 record. Holy crap. Their defense is old, though. I mean, isn't Cameron Jordan like 38? I think he's like 38. Is he retiring? Is he still playing or is he retiring? Have easy decision to make. Easy Cameron Jordan decision to make. Hold on. Should be all over a new deal for Cameron Jordan. How old is Cameron Jordan? No way. 15-year vet. He's played in 243 regular season games. The Saints need to find a way to keep Cameron Jordan. Holy crap. How old? You can't like give him a big deal. Hey. Cameron Jordan's only 2 years older than me. That's crazy. He's 36. But true. Very true. Cameron Jordan. is 36 years old, 2 years older than I am. Drafted in 2010 or 2011, 8-time Pro Bowl. He's not a Super Bowl champ. They need a whatchamacallit. They need a quarterback. They need a defense this year. So crazy. Bobby Wagner? How old's Bobby Wagner then? He's got to be older than him, right? 35. Holy crap, he's only a year older than me. Okay, Bobby Wagner is younger than Cameron Jordan. Dang. I'm just interested in what's going on. But honestly, yeah, dude, that's crazy. Does anybody remember Lofa Tatupu from the Seahawks? He was like their middle linebacker, I think. They're saying that Kansas City's taking a running back. Is there a tight end? Are they going to keep Travis Kelce? I don't think he's retiring, is he? Do you keep a Travis Kelce? Do you draft a replacement for Travis Kelce? A running back? They need more than just a running back. In NFL, yeah, pretty much. That is true. They're young men in the fact that they're still in their mid to late 30s, but as NFL players, yeah, they're dinosaurs. Kansas City with the running back. I don't like that decision. I think a receiver would probably be the best. Are there any receivers, though? I'm sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. Receiver. They say that this is Jeremiah Love, the running back out of Notre Dame, is a very good receiver from the backfield. Maybe that works, but I can see KC taking a running back, but I think they have more pressing needs at wide receiver. Another front set player might not hurt either. I definitely agree with that. Chris Jones can only do so much. The rest of that defense just fell apart everything just fell apart for Kansas City last year, which is pretty crazy to think about. I need to research these players. I'm going to research these players and see. They say that Cincinnati Bengals are going to go edge with Reuben Bain Jr. out of Miami. 4.5 sacks. 20.5 sacks in 3 seasons. I don't think, what's his name? I don't think Hendrickson's coming back, right? Probably not coming back, Hendrickson, unless they give him like a massive contract. I think they could do one more franchise tag on him. Coasting on Mahomes, Reed, Kelce for years. What's up, Rich? Who is the new boogeyman next season? Like, the team to, like, scare everyone? The team to, like, is that what you're asking? Well, according to the logo, they said the Miami Dolphins and the Bears are going to go to the Super Bowl. That's just a meme I've seen. But honestly, I think if we're thinking of a team that's going to scare people, like a Patriots or a Washington, I can see... Shoot. Who's, like, really good? Who could come out of nowhere? KP was the person fans like to hate. Oh, definitely, dude. Oh, my gosh. KP. Miles is the boogeyman. KP, oh, my God. Don't even mention him. He was so horrible. If I have to see another freaking Chicago, I can see Chicago. To be honest, the KP thing, if I have to see... Oh, the person fans like Sean... I think Nick Sirianni. I think it's Nick Sirianni that next year. I think he's on the hot seat. If he doesn't like perform well this year with the new offensive coordinator, I think he's out. If we're talking about like other teams, we're talking like Monken is an obvious choice. People are gonna bash on them because it's the Browns. I could see a world where who else? Browns, Monken. I could see Baker. I could see Baker Mayfield being bashed on because he gets bashed on every year. I'm actually going to go. Dang, dude, this is a hard one. Thanks for the question. Holy crap. Quez was 1 year. Bradbury another year. OC Brian Johnson was. Oh, you're talking just Eagles. I'm actually like convinced that Nick Sirianni is more of a Barry Switzer than he is like a Jimmy Johnson. Now, maybe people don't think that, but I don't think he is the coach that's going to lead the Eagles to a dynasty. Oh, Todd Bowles is another, yeah. I think it's Nick Sirianni. I hope if shit hits the fan, pardon my French, that it's Nick Sirianni because I just don't see him as this great coach. I think that he had. Oh, I remember Nelson Aguilar being one. I really just think like he rode off of. I think Kellen Moore was the firepower behind that offense. If I'm being 100% honest, you had Kellen Moore and you had Vic Fangio running the offense and the defense. Of course. Now looking at Kellen Moore's coaching job, how he's done, we can see that Nick Sirianni doesn't know what he's doing. Who scapegoat? Probably AJ Brown. I could see AJ. Alshon Jeffrey was one. There was a year when McNabb was one. McNabb was the scapegoat up until he was. Yeah, you spelled it right. McNabb was the scapegoat all through the 2000s up till he was traded, and then you had who else came? Oh, Deshaun Jackson was always a scapegoat. It felt like I think Chip Kelly was not a scapegoat, but rightfully deserved to get thrown out. I think in 2016, 15, 16, there wasn't really a scapegoat for 2016. It was just a bad team. Oh, I am awesome. Thank you. I would hope I am. I stumble my words a lot. It takes me a while to get my thoughts out, but I do my best every day to come out with some content. But that's who I think. If we're talking like outside of the NFL, oh, Doug Peterson at the end of his reign, definitely scapegoated. Carson Wentz. It could be Sean Mannion. It could. I don't know how I feel about the signing of Sean Mannion. On one hand, yeah, he had a lot to do with Jordan Love's. Let me turn on my light. He had a lot to do with Jordan Love's like best season, in my opinion. But I could see it being a Sean Mannion. I would hope not. I think the whole. Oh, Jeff Stoutland this year too. Wasn't he like a scapegoat for the Eagles as well? They like got rid of him, took away his play calling duties. So, yeah. Sean Mannion could be on the outs. They just keep hiring these 1-year wonders. Kevin Patullo was obviously bad. And I'm going to tell you why Patullo was bad. You lined up every single play from the shotgun or from behind center. You had trips to the right. You had Devontae Smith motion all the way to the left, and then you'd snap the ball, hand it off to Saquon Barkley, and he'd get nowhere. Very rarely would he pick up yards. Everyone knew who was going to get the ball, when they were going to get the ball. They did the same formation, it felt like, every game. And I watched a lot of Eagles football game this year, so rightfully so, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It's the way I watched the game. I just saw what I saw. But yeah, I can see Mannion being a boogeyman for the Eagles this year too. I like talking football. I like talking other stuff too, so it doesn't just have to be like football questions, to be honest. I'm just doing what I know. Let's see. Who do you think? How about you, Richie? Who do you think's going to be the scapegoat this year? I would say that's my best guess. And I could see AJ Brown being the scapegoat again. I really think that AJ Brown's probably going to be the next one. Totally stupid. I like AJ Brown. He's just passionate about the game. And of course, dude, you want to contribute. You want to contribute to your wins. And when your passing game is ranked 30th towards the bottom of the league, you're not going to win a lot of games that way. So that's my thing. I have a gripe with the way that the offense was run last year. 20th ranked offense, not good. At number 11, Mansour Delane. Quarterback out of LSU to the Miami Dolphins. Now, we saw last year with the Miami Dolphins, they just lost so many cornerbacks in training camp. They had like so many injuries in training camp. So they're going to need corners. Rasul Douglas is leaving. Jack Jones is a free agent. So not the best. Oh, I'm so sorry. I honestly have a weird time picking the Broncos boogeyman. Riley Moss, probably the penalties and everything, I think elevated him there this year. I think Sean Payton was kind of your boogeyman. If I'm being 100% honest, a lot of like the offensive woes were blamed on him, especially with like the swing passes and things like that. I could see him being the scapegoat this year or this last year. So that's what I think. Patriots need a wide receiver so bad they will go after AJ Brown. AJ for the 31 pick. That might be too much. I really hope not. As an Eagles fan, I love AJ Brown. He's so passionate. Oh man, he's so good. But I could see it happening. I could see them giving the 31 pick for AJ Brown. I don't want that to happen. Because then Devontae Smith isn't a number one receiver. Oh, Bo, as the year went on, Bo got a lot better. Were there things to work on from Bo? Yes, but towards the end of the season, he was starting to hit his stride again. But Patriots need a receiver. Oh, man. Oh. I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up A.J. Brown. As an Eagles fan, I really don't want that at all. Devontae Smith is a great stretcher of the field. He's just so tiny. He's like very tiny. They would have to go for another. They need another receiver to go with Devontae Smith. They have no one. They don't have anyone after Devontae Smith. Like AJ Brown, if you get rid of him, your offense is basically more one-dimensional. Dallas Goedert's probably not coming back. I don't know if he's coming back. Oh my gosh, you're making me think, man. You're actually making me think about all this. I don't want that at all. There's like no one on the... There's nobody... No wide receivers. You go after a Mike Evans, a Christian Kirk, a Deebo Samuel. These are all people almost in their 30s. Jawan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed. You don't want another stretcher of the field. They basically wasted Jahan Dotson's time. Hunter Renfro, not going to happen. Yeah, there's basically nothing in free agency. Jalen Waddle for Brown. That would be kind of interesting. My problem, like, if we're thinking Waddle for Brown, Waddle's a speed threat, correct? If I'm not mistaken. I hope it wouldn't be the same problem like they had in Miami, because I think that the problem with the Miami Dolphins was that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle were basically the same player. Maybe a little bit taller from Waddle. Guys that could, like, stretch the field a little bit. I think you need, like, a balance. Yeah, thank you, dude. Greatly appreciate that. We're probably only going to go for a little bit longer. I'll see you later, Miles. Hope you have a good rest. But yeah, Waddle for Brown seems interesting. I just really like the big targets. I'm a huge fan of, like, big targets. I think that's my let me see Waddle. Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle is 27 years old. 5'10", 180. Yeah, he's basically another Devontae Smith, I would think. Devontae Smith is tiny. He is also 27 years old. 170 pounds, 6 feet. So he's a little bit taller than Waddle. Now, the Dolphins have the KP connection, and A.J. Brown might have been on his side, not Jalen Hurts. Ah. Did KP go to Miami? Yeah, he's in the Dolphins. Oh, crap. Okay. That might actually be that's an interesting take. Are you an Eagles fan? I gotta ask. Or what's your team? Because I really want if you're an Eagles fan or not, I want your take on Jalen Hurts. You're an Eagles fan. What's your take on Jalen Hurts? I like Jalen. I think he's a great leader. I just didn't think that he can survive a bad play caller. Like, it's very hard for any quarterback to handle a bad play caller, to be honest. I think he has all the tools. He just needs a consistent play caller. He needs someone that can get him over that hump. I don't think he's going to run the offense himself. If that's where I'm getting at. It's very rare for quarterbacks to be able to run the offense themselves, and I don't think Jalen is one of those guys. He has to have someone with the system. That's just my opinion. Great quarterback. Like, you give him, like, a good coordinator, great quarterback. But he can't serve. Nobody can. I don't think a lot of these quarterbacks can survive a Kevin Patullo. Or, like, someone similar. Which gives me, like, thoughts of, like, was Brian? I don't think Brian Johnson was as bad as people remember. I'm just trying to remember correctly. I think the defense really just because wasn't that like Jalen Hurts' best season? Like one, no, wait, 2022 was Jalen Hurts' best season, right? Hold on, I'm sorry. Best season was in 2023. 38, 3,853 yards, passing touchdowns 23, total yards over 4,000 in both seasons. It's crazy. Think about. Even Brian Johnson. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. Having fun. I'm having fun doing kind of like a deep dive of this. Situationally, it had no idea what to do against cover 0. I'm trying to figure. I would like to know your thoughts. Brian Johnson is out as the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator. Sources confirmed to Adam Schefter. This was back in 2024. They had Matt Patricia that year. That's crazy. Took a step back in 2023. Hurts threw a career high 15 interceptions, and Eagles slipped from 3rd in points per game to 7th. Went from 9th in passing yards to 16th, and fell from 5th in rushing to 8th. I think we're talking about like Brian Johnson compared to Kevin Patullo. It's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. I just feel like the Eagles play too conservatively with Jalen right now. That's what I think. Is they're not really giving him. They're making him be like way too conservative. They're not rolling him out enough. I think that was the problem. They didn't roll him out enough this year. So I don't know. It's hard to grade him because yes, he's had great seasons, but he's also had like very like lower numbers the last 2 years. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm sorry. This is kind of fun. So his first year as a start, he had 3,144 yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. 2022, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3,701 yards, 3,858 yards, 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. And then he had a significant drop off in 2024. 2,903 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, an 8.0 average though. That matches his 2022 average. And then you go into 2025, he did have more yards, but he also had a significantly lower 7.1 average per throw. Took a lot of sacks, had a lower QBR, lower quarterback rating. Even his rushing numbers went down this year. 105 carries for 421 yards. Then you have the penalties. The penalties also didn't do a lot of justice to this team. There was so many first down penalties. So many first down penalties. Put them back, they would have negative yards, and then just I don't know. But we don't always have to talk football. I mean, there's other things we can talk about here too if we want. Very interesting stuff. But all right, I think I'm going to head out, go do my thing, get ready for tomorrow. I'll have a Eagles wish list sometime this week before the weekend comes up. Hopefully I have stuff for next week and whatnot. So I will see you all later. C'est la vie. Stay blessed. Adios. Boom. Thank you all for coming in.